into the first match. Look at the competitors all ready to go. Dobrein grabbing that first weapon. It is the orb. So Wilson, we're going to see a lot of Ragnar.
Absolutely.
We're going to see Ragnar. We're going to see he loves guitars. He's a monster with that axe. How do you feel this matchup is going to shake out?
Well, so far, it's looking like Wilson's just trying to land a lot of jump down airs. Dobrein was attempting to catch him with either a neutral light or a side light. Side light on orb leads to so many possible combos, as well as the Sarah, but we see Dobrein now switching over to the Scythe, going for that neutral sig read. That was the uncharged version. If it was charged, it would have the 3 stars bursting in 3 different directions. Using the active frame to put Wilson off the side of the stage. Ducks underneath the down light, punishes with an unarmed neutral light, and goes over the side sig to catch him out of that neutral sig. Most Legends might not be able to punish from that distance, but the side sig on the orb for Fate, incredible distance. Don't have to charge to get that distance like you would say for like an Asuri side signature.
Damage build is going fairly even between these two. I mean, Dobrein did have that early lead, but I mean, we're on Blackguard Keep. He knocked him over to the left-hand side. There are tons of ways to recover over that.
Oh my neutral sig. We saw Dobrein finishing off opponents several times with how fast that move is. An amazing anti-air, and when you use it, you don't even necessarily have to wait till you touch the ground before you can act again, but Dobrein didn't have to worry about that, connecting with Wilson as he attempted to land, took the first stock, and now Dobrein has secured himself a lead here in game number 1.
Ooh, trying to dash in.
Two
that
dares.
downlight on the orb, you can actually get some niche combos if you hit with those later.
Oh
my gosh, Dobrein hunting for it.
Unfortunately, wasn't able to find too much off of it. Ragnar was able to find the neutral light. And no, the side air into the stage. Dobrein knows it. When you're hitting the stage, you don't touch, you don't get the jumps back. Decides to fall to his death there instead of even attempting to come back so that he could respawn faster. But Wilson's denying the weapons. He's guarding with nairs. The down air just barely misses, and there's that side light into Sarah.
Wilson finding that dodge out.
Ooh, and the ground pound coming up. Dobrein landing on the platform, but forcing the orb to go beneath to throw out the hitbox, not being punished. Silent comes out, but Wilson dodges out the way. Nice little sidelight downlight. Tries to carry him back to the stage, but Dobrein, wary of how the guitar strings want to operate, avoids all that with a nice dodge.
Oh man, you know, Dobrein, he's putting these signatures to great use. He's really going for it. But Wilson has found the punish after every single one. His guitars are just that unreal. His movement getting in those in-between spaces.
Oh, that neutral
again.
Being put into just the wrong direction. Wilson was able to punch on the neutral light. And there is the properties of the side stick that we're talking about. He charged just a little bit longer into the air so that he could get that beam. Gravity canceling means
another one.
Look at the distance. You could when you gravity cancel, you can't charge all the way, but you can charge just enough to get the benefits of Fate's special signature properties. And twice in a row, we saw Wilson being caught off guard there. Now he's trying to catch him with the grabbing properties of that down signature side sig used to go down to the platform. Downers aren't hitting, but the neutral sig anti-air. Wilson's ready for it. It doesn't hit ungrounded opponents. So as long as he doesn't jump.
Neutral light. He was so damaged that just immediately deleted him from center stage. Wilson now taking the lead for the first time this game.
Yeah, Wilson's finding a lot of down airs, silence, and neutral airs onto Dobrein, but he's not finding that meaty Sarah the Axe has that can get some KOs so incredibly early. He has to result into damaging Dobrein so much that he has to end it with a neutral light, and Dobrein looks like he wants to be able to take the stock back so that he can even things up. Keeping in mind, Dobrein was originally in the lead here, and Wilson has clawed his way back with these guitars.
And his guitars are just so good. The absolute movement, get behind those signatures, yes.
Catches him out of the way of that downlight with a nice Sarah. Wilson recovers low, and Dobrein doesn't go for a punish. Denying the weapons, throwing away the scythe, wanting to hold onto the orb. You can see that he just wants to catch Wilson throwing out one unsafe Sarah so that he can catch him in the middle of it with the down signature and send him flying to his death. There's the down sig again, but Wilson's so ready for what Dobrein's fishing for. Manages to avoid, but the side sig hits the very end of the move.
The last little bit of that star.
But Dobrein took so much damage while trying to finish off that stock. Wilson was in deep red for minutes.
It is a hill to climb. I mean, Dobrein, any single signature could knock him out. And Ragnar has quite the amazing kit. Here we go, there's that Spitfire, those amazing signatures from Ragnar. I mean, Wilson is one of the few Ragnar players who will use that down signature quite a bit.
Well, and normally it's so that he doesn't have to go off stage against opponents that are on the wall. So that's why it's so much more impressive that he just used it in the center of the stage to cover a landing to be able to kill off the top, knowing that his opponent was damaged so severely that that option would be able to cover those landings. And even if it missed, it wasn't really putting him in a position where he could be punished. Game 1 goes over to Wilson. No legend swaps here as we go into the Great Hall for game number 2.
All right, so this is a little bit more horizontally balanced of a map. It's not weighted to one side like Blackguard Keep was, but there are a lot of platforms that can reach very high up on the stage.
And already Wilson opening up with the same weapon that he had before. But
Oh
Dobrein
my
off stage with the
gosh.
weapon toss. Wilson comes back, and Dobrein didn't want to risk it. He could have gone for an early gimp there, but just taking the damage and recognizing, hey, if I go for anything else, he might reverse it on me, and I will lose my stock, and we'll both lose it. Dobrein decides to go back and continue fighting it out against Wilson on center stage. A very scary moment there for the Ragnar.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the thing. You can't let that shake you in a match like this.
Ooh, downers are coming out. Dobrein trying to use the special properties of that move. Oh, but downer connects with the ground or a wall that bounces, changes the properties of where it hits.
Man, and as big of a lead as Dobrein started
neutral
with,
stick again.
okay, all right, I'm going to fix myself right now. Dobrein with that stock lead, and he's still got a little bit left in the tank. Look, just that deep orange.
Oh, but Wilson looking like he's want to be able to reverse this once again. We saw the same thing happen in game number 1, where Dobrein had a nice little lead, finished it off with an anti-aerial that is the neutral sig. But Wilson was able to bring it back really quick and then take the next stock right afterwards. But Dobrein not dying here, finds a nice little neutral leg, goes for the chase dodge forward down stick. That down stick connects, sends him off stage, goes for the neutral stick, but Wilson recovers low. Down air catches Wilson as he tries to get back on the stage, and there is the Sair that I was talking about. Wilson, a lot of guitar players in general like to go for that Sair. They hit it into the stage as they're rising with the jump, and then the hitboxes linger. But Dobrein ready for that, finds the down stick. Wilson gets the KO, but this time deep in the red as Dobrein respawns here on his fresh second stock.
Yeah, Dobrein really set himself up for success. I mean, Fate's got amazing signatures. You've been seeing them coming out, especially that down orb. It's that quick little star draw. And he just needs, he doesn't even need to land one of those on Wilson, sending him out just too far, threatening that edge guard. Wilson now down on his final stop.
Yeah, the Great Hall in singles, unlike in doubles, are a little bit smaller, and at the bottom of the walls are those slants that you don't get your touch back, or you don't get your jump back
You
if
can
you touch
only
it.
touch
Yes.
the straight vertical walls to restore your jumps.
And Wilson finds himself losing out to that as he recovers, but there's the sidelight into neutral air. Nice little punish on Dobrein's side signature. We saw Dobrein finding the very last hit of that move. Game number 1 to be able to get the KOs, but the side stick comes out, and Wilson, despite being at such a horrific deficit, evens things up very quickly with one good jump punish. Dobrein now unarmed. Will Wilson go to deny these weapons? He does. A lingering nair stops Dobrein from picking up the orb for a second. Manages to get on the way back.
There was that Spitfire trying to go over the corner. But Dobrein finding his footing back onto stage. Got Orb versus Guitars. Orb definitely has the range advantage here. But look at Wilson just getting inside that range.
Ooh, Wilson goes for a down stick, but Dobrein was above. Hits him with the down air and catches him on the way back down. Down stick connects. Wilson gets hit by the dare. We see that bouncing off the wall. He didn't pivot that down air.
Oh no! Dobrein
He was
beating out
facing the wall
dive.
when the down air came out, and then went back to center stage, found the down signature. We saw him find none of those down signatures at game number 1, finding it in game number 2 to be able to finish it off. Very solid stock, even though Wilson had that great comeback potential there. Dobrein was able to take it and even things up 1-1.
Man, I really think the stage pick played out here for Dobrein's advantage. I mean, you know, Blackguard Keep, it's got the platform off onto the side, kind of like Mammoth does here.
Well, and I
But
like
it's a little.
And I like that you mentioned that, because I was highlighting how guitar players like to recover with guitar Sair sometimes.
Yeah.
But you have that extra option of retreating to the Blackguard platform instead of having to fall into that very terrifying Fate down signal.
Yeah, those smaller Great Hall walls let Dobrein kind of put in that excellent edge guarding game, just threatening with those signatures, whether you go high or you try and scoot past him low.
And so if Wilson is cognizant of the Mammoth platform, the Mammoth Fortress platform as it moves, he might be able to.
Oh my! Or maybe
So-
he will just absolutely decimate
I was going to
Dobrein
say,
for
yeah.
a stop.
I was going to say, if he needed to recover, maybe he could recover to the platform as it moves, but why recover when you are doing what? Oh, Wilson using the platform to get the neutral stick, a second neutral
That
stick on the
was
way
so
down.
slick.
Dobrein goes for a weapon toss just to be able to get his footing. And the recovery comes out to be able to hit Wilson, but he is not in the red yet. Second recovery will do it. Weapon toss isn't even needed. Wilson trying to dodge back to the stage, but the gravity canceled down like ground pound to be able to finish off the stock. Impeccable edge guarding coming out from Dobrein's
It was
Fate.
the perfect punish. I mean, Wilson was tapped out of all his options.
Now Wilson, even on stocks here, slightly down light into neutral stick. That's the third neutral stick that he's found in game number 3. Goes for that side stick finisher, but he doesn't go off the stage, so he doesn't get that safety of falling beneath the platform, punished by Dobrein, but the neutral light catches Dobrein as he tries to cross him up.
That's the thing, if you can threaten those cross-ups, I mean, Dobrein absolutely loves to do those mix-ups, so that way he can get more of the stage, or even just turn it around to get an earlier edge guard.
Hits. We go for the side stick again. He hasn't been spaced just right, but the Sair waiting him out. Normally some players will wait until wall slip activates, but Wilson getting the read on Dobrein, seeing that he wanted to recover early, was able to find that Sair, and now has himself in a lead that Dobrein was in game number 2.
All right, so back to Wilson's guitars. Oh, but Dobrein's Scythe getting those little 2-3 hit strings. That damage is seriously going to add up.
Lands a little weapon toss into neutral light, picks up the orb. Falling Sair puts Wilson off the side of the stage. Dobrein has not taken too much damage on the down, so catches him on the landing. Will that be it? Disarmed. Wilson uses all of his jumps to be able to get all the way back up, and Dobrein doesn't find the down air, bounces a little bit too early off the side of the stage, goes wide, and then just great anti-air. Not going to do anything to an opponent that's on the ground. Dobrein results to landing with these side airs to be able to get something in. Wilson's not falling into those down sigs anymore. Can he find some damage, or is Dobrein going to even this up completely? Side sig misses, but the dare interrupts Wilson out of the recovery, and the ground
my
pound.
gosh! Dobrein just diving so deep for that. He knew Wilson already spent his recovery. He had to go back to the wall. Dobrein's orb was just waiting for him.
Now Dobrein gets the down sig on the dodge in from Wilson.
Yeah, that signature, it doesn't have a lot of range. She doesn't move while casting it, but it does last a long time while she's drawing that star.
Now Wilson with the guitars is putting Dobrein to the red. Neutral light from Dobrein as he can chase dodge past from that hit to be able to get the weapon. Scythe comes out. Down light pushes Wilson off the edge, but he just gets control of the stage. And the gravity cancel side stick using the shotgun blast of that. He didn't charge it this time, so the properties of the attack changed. We saw before he was only using the charged version.
Yeah, he had to let that one go a little bit early because Wilson just went right into challenger.
And there is again, this time charged. But Wilson ready for the spacing of that move. We saw Dobrein hit it twice in a row on Blackguard Keep. Wilson learning the matchup very quickly throughout this best of 5.
But Dobrein, I mean, he is already so deep in the red. Wilson, he can take a bit more punishment.
The side sig misses Dobrein, walks back, punishes, and the neutral sig fully charged.
You get that nice full canopy coverage.
And I'm loving the mastery over these signatures that Dobrein is showing. We see a lot of players that have characters that they like to practice and use their signatures well, but Fate has got so much more that you can get from her if you just utilize a little bit of charge and recognize what your opponents are doing. Yes, if Dobrein didn't charge that neutral sig, it may have missed, but because he did, those 3 stars that you saw sprouting at the top of the attack was what enabled him to be able to get that KO. And game number 3 goes over to Dobrein. He is on the verge of getting into winners finals here at final round.
All right, so we are now on Shipwreck Falls. The walls are even shorter. The platforms are all gone. Dobrein is up 2-1 in the set.
And already the match is dead even. Wilson with the guitars this time instead of the axe. Disarms Dobrein. Trying to guard from the weapon. Downlight and recovery is doing a great job. He's not even going to pick it up. He's not even trying to weapon starve. He's just trying to hit Dobrein. And it's working every time. Dobrein's been struggling to land for the past 20 seconds.
This damage lead and Dobrein, all right, finally able to get in. He bypassed that weapon. He wanted that unarmed
but the side
damage
stick hits. Shipwreck a little bit too wide on the blast zone. And the gravity cancel side stick as a recovery tool to avoid the ground pound from Wilson. And the side light on the way back to the stage. Wilson trying to put the pressure onto his opponent. Goes for the Sair, expecting Dobrein to dash past him. But Dobrein is managing to claw his way back. Will the Sair do it? No, it still doesn't. Dobrein uses his dodge early so that he can come back. Not enough. Dobrein falls to his death and an axe Sair takes it. Wilson, one stock ahead.
With a massive lead this game. All right, here we go. That's the thing. All right, so Shipwreck Falls. It's wide, it's flat, a lot of weapons. You can get these extended strings, particularly guitars, because there's no platforms to get in the way. You've got all the room to run your side light and down light strings and just continue pressure.
Wilson puts down that little weapon toss, but the guitars are pretty small. The only weapon smaller, obviously, being the orb. And oh no, Wilson ends up falling to his death there. As Dobrein, now cycling through the weapons, picks up the scythe, and now stocks are evened up 2-2. A little bit of a lead still in Wilson's favor. Dobrein, the orange.
Dobrein, he only has to land one of these scythe strings to almost bring the damage even. Look at that hot swap over to the orb. both weapon starving and going for, I think, the signature kit that he preferred for Edgeguard.
Yes, absolutely. And the damage has been completely evened up here. Wilson struggling to land on the ground. He's been finding the guitars, but besides stock number 1, he hasn't been finding that much success on it. At this point, I feel like he'd want to switch over to the axe. He's been finding the Sares necessary to be able to KO Dobrein. Downlight comes out, waiting it out, but no. Second downlight does not connect, and the down 6 hits. Wilson can still recover high, has his dodge, but Dobrein bouncing the orb off the side of Shipwreck Falls, gets the recovery on the way up, doesn't kill off the top, but Wilson is going to die to so many things here as Dobrein to put out a down sig, trying to get to landing. The anti-air, the neutral sig, putting Fate in a position to where as she falls, she can find that side air because you don't have to land on the ground completely after the move's being used. Catches Wilson off guard, but the side sig punished. Will he go for the down sig on the side of the stage? No. Dobrein tosses the orb in Wilson's face to recover. Both players so heavily damaged that Dobrein switches over to the side.
Whoa.
Neutral, I can't lead in anything. That's how damaged he is. And then the gravity cancel downlight into recovery allows Dobrein to pick up the stock. He has one stock away.
Really just buckled down, took back this lead. If he can get any damage on Wilson, I mean, he's up in the set. He's looking to go into winners finals.
He is indeed looking to go into winners finals. One of the best performances that he's had in the LAN in a very long time in singles. Dobrein on Fate is pressuring Wilson on the left side of the stage. Wilson can't find anything. The falling Nair looking a little bit like a sword legend there, popping Dobrein up, but not being able to find anything else. But an excellent neutral sig catching Dobrein out of his jump, sending him flying towards the top of the stage, and we're dead even once again. Wilson wants that game 5. He wants to be able to get into winners finals here, and Dobrein is the only thing standing in his way. Weapon toss comes out. It doesn't lead to anything. Both players, they're exchanging weapon tosses. It's like 2 damage per hit.
They're playing that footsies. Who's going to get the first big string and take that damage lead?
Dobrein starts with the sideline, but it leads to nothing. Down air hits nothing. Sarah goes wide. Dobrein looking for that jumping down air, but anti-air punched by the downlight. But the sideline doesn't even lead into a nair because of where Wilson was positioned. Wilson slowly taking the worst end of the trades here. With that sidelight nair, goes for the recovery, but Dobrein recovers to the left.
I mean, that's what you get to do. You know, Dobrein, he's engaging with these weapon throws just as a way to offset Wilson's time.
Sidelight nair. Puts Dobrein into the red, goes for the weapon toss, but he doesn't pick it back up on the way down. Weapon spawns just in the right place, and the neutral stick puts Wilson into a similar position. The property's similar to Fate's orb, but a little bit slower, but the down stick hits on the ground, just like we saw in this previous game. Dobrein now unarmed, he gets hit by that nair. That nair is sending him pretty far back. That's how damaged Dobrein is.
Edgeguard situation. No, Wilson going deep, just under that slide kick.
He dodges out of the way, but
trying
the
to arm up
hits.
Ragnar, you cannot run from the dragon.
And we see Wilson really succeeding there in that weapon punish. It's like
that I absolutely love. Just fire beats bicycle kick.
Yes,
that's how the math works out, right?
It definitely works out that way 100% of the time. We see this here right here. Dobrein haymakers towards the weapon, and the side stick from Wilson went an easy punish. He went over to pick it up, maybe not meaning to use that side stick, but regardless, what's keeping Wilson into these games is his style of weapon starving. He's not picking up the weapon, throwing it away. He's leaving the spawn on the map and then juggling his opponents around that game. On Shipwreck Falls, we saw Wilson probably find like, what, 3 downlight strings of guitars?
The whole first
as he tried to land. The Great Hall is going to be game number 5 here. This is it. The winner of this goes on into winners finals to secure a spot in the top 3 here at final round. Wilson on Ragnar, Dobrein on Fate. In the Great Hall, game number 5 is underway, and Wilson already opening it up with a nice little string. Doesn't get that downlight. All right, so recovery, barely avoids it.
Man, we've been on Great Hall before this set, and it really played out to Dobrein's favor. But Wilson just seeming to adjust so well, using those guitars to just navigate, denying Dobrein any sort of landing on any platform.
It seems as though the Great Hall platforms are working against Dobrein here. He wants to get down to center stage, but he has to land on the platforms first, and that's where Wilson is sort of circling in that little box area in between and hitting him with the edges of the nairs, so he keeps being popped back up. The down stick hits. Wilson secures the first KO, and Dobrein couldn't land that entire stock.
Man, that was such a slick answer to that side signature onto stage. Wilson just
We saw Dobrein doing that a lot to great success, too.
Yeah.
Oh, and the guitar string begins. He down airs into the platform on accident, but already so much damage being put on Dobrein's second stock. Charges up the neutral signature, but Wilson, now wary of the spacing of that move, finds a neutral sig, spikes him into the stage, goes for a second neutral signature, but Dobrein doesn't land into it this time. Active input, but these signatures from Dobrein are being punished left and right. He's weaving around the fully charged portions of the end sig, and then hitting him with the Sarah on the way back down. Weapon toss comes out, but he just goes straight through the side sig and lands directly on Dobrein. That down signature hits in front of Fate, not on top of her.
Wilson really just being very wary of these signatures now.
Oh, the end sig.
But it still wasn't enough.
The down sig missed. Wilson goes for the neutral signature. Dobrein manages to punch with the Sair. That down air, not a ground pound, not in the right place. Wilson is up 3 stocks to 1.
All right, check your
Dobrein's
fantasy brackets. Did you say there was going to be a 3 stock in top 8? You're looking at those extra points right now.
And Wilson finding so much damage here at the start of the stock. Jumping over the side stick, the bullet going a little bit low. Neutral from Dobrein comes out, but we're seeing these recoveries whiff, and signature punish after signature punish just shows that Wilson is ready to take it. The adjustments were made. Game 3 is looking so good. He still has recovery there. Avoids the neutral stick from Dobrein, the move that killed him first in the 2 rounds that he lost. Whoa. Avoiding the down air, using the neutral stick, hitting Dobrein out of the jump. Is this going to be it? The down stick comes out. Dobrein avoids it. Silent hits the ground pound. Does it?
Dobrein.
Wilson.
That is it. Wilson is going into winners finals here at final round.
Less than 200 damage coming out from Dobrein. As Wilson 3 stocks. 3 stocks to fate on the map that he lost on earlier on in the set. Wilson showing that he belongs. And winner's side, Dobrein looking so good on the fate, but at the very end, fished for too many signatures, and Wilson spaced around them perfectly. I don't think I saw him get hit by a single one in that last game.